Hi folks, welcome back to Math with Captain Rod. I'm making this video here to help you study for your Unit 4 test here. There are a couple problems on that test about going back and forth between this type of form and this type of form, and I always like to say the log of a product is equal to the sum of the logs. I'm going to look at examples 6 and 14 on page 440. I suggest you look at examples 9, 8, 15, and 13 for practice for your test. I've chosen these specifically after looking at the ones on your test. So, all right, so number 6. All right, so what we've got here is it says 3 times log base 3 of x minus 2 log base 3 of y plus 3 log base 3 of z. All right, so and again, it's all about using this this formula here for expanding logs. And you know, you typically write it with 2, but it expands to as many as you want. If I wanted to throw a c in there, it'd be plus log base c, and then I could throw a d in there and do plus log base d if I wanted, and so forth. So there's another formula too about the difference between logs being a quotient. I should write that one down too. It's directly related. Log of a over b is equal to log a minus log b. Now these really are basically the same law, because this b right here, you know, you could actually think of it like log of a b to the minus 1. And then that would equal log a plus log b to the minus 1, and then the minus sign can come out in front. So they're these two are the same law. The way I like to think of it when I'm dealing with logarithms is this. I just think about this law right here, and I just remind myself, okay, if it's a minus sign, it's going to be in the bottom, basically. So when I look at this guy right here, this term right here is going to be in the bottom after we write it in one logarithm. Anyway, let's get rolling. So the first step here is probably to take these guys and move them inside the log. Now, the minus sign right here, this is actually optional. The minus sign could go with the 2 or stay out in front. Okay. Now, again, if I want to go plus and minus, that will work perfectly well. And in fact, for now, I'll leave it alone, but I'll talk about it here at the end of the video. I'll show you how it works out if we just put the minus sign up here. So this term right here, we're going to have log base 3 of z cubed. All right, now equals. Now I'm going to apply this, kind of running it backwards. This is going to equal log base 3. Now anything that's positive is going to be basically upstairs in the fraction. Anything that's negative, downstairs. I would consider that done. Now, just to point out, this may actually help you. Maybe this is a way you'd rather do this. I could have written this log base 3 of x cubed plus log base 3 of y to the minus 2 plus log base 3 of z cubed, if that we decided to group that minus sign with the power. These are now all positive, so we would write it as a product. All of them would be in the product. And I would consider this done, but you'll notice one more step, log base 3 of x cubed z cubed, and that minus sign means over y squared. All right, so you notice we end up with exactly the same thing, regardless of where we put that minus sign. So there's a pretty good example. I suggest, let's see which of these problems are similar to those. 9 and 8, those are the toughest on the page I can find. If you can do 9 and 8, you'll be good for this problem on the test. All right, I'm going to take a look at 14. Let me get rid of this. All right, so 14, what we got here is a problem that says log base 6 cubed root of r squared w. Directions are to write the log in expanded form. Give me a moment here, I want to see. That's exactly the directions on your test. Write the logarithm in expanded form. All right, so first of all, let's kind of deal with this. And again, this 3 out front, remember means cubed root. So if I apply that to these guys, that's r to the 2/3, w to the 1/3, because this w here, it's not written, but it's w to the power of 1. Now we can expand this because this is the log of a product, and that's equal to the sum of the logs. So we can write this log base 3 of r to the 2/3 plus log base 3 w to the 1/3. Based on the directions, I would say that's done. It's expanded. However, looking at the test, it looks like there's a assumption here that you will further simplify this. So that 2/3 can come out in front. Whoops, I wouldn't need it anymore. And again, this 1/3 can come out in front of the log. Right? So there's an example here of how to expand logarithms. Again, these two should be good practice problems. Those are the toughest ones on the page. I'm looking at the test right now. If you can do those two, you should be fine for the test, right? Hope that this helps. Have a great day.